Shocking footage from Europa. A brazen attack by the Outer Way terrorist group, led by the notorious Danny Nakamura.
That's enough. We got a job to do.
This is Callisto Hangar Control to UJC Charon. You have cleared the security perimeter.
Roger, hangar control. Laying in course for Europa Station.
It feels like as gamers we find ourselves in a similar position once again. You might not have noticed at first, as the introduction segment you see behind me looks phenomenal. The acting performance, lighting, environment design, as well as the stellar mocap and animation work on display is some of the best I've ever seen. But as soon as the game starts to unfold, even within the first 10 minutes, a familiar issue starts to settle in. Poor performance. It's not that the game struggles to get high frame rates, quite the opposite. But as soon as you enter a new area or section of the game, that frame rate will just plummet. The screen will stutter, and you'll be immediately pulled out from the immersion. And it's a huge shame. The level design and atmosphere is fantastic. I'm only 2 hours in, but you can already see there's a huge amount of effort and love that the artists have put into creating this world. Unfortunately, it's going to waste. Now, there are various points of speculation online as to what's causing the actual issue. Some think it's just poor optimization on launch, but unfortunately it might be a little bit more complicated than that. Unfortunately, it seems that once again another Unreal title has the same issue that's plagued many other titles in the past of shader compilation stutters. This is where instead of the game loading in assets ahead of time into a cache at the cost of load time, the game will instead compile those shaders on the fly. This understandably puts quite a large amount of stress and strain on your processing unit for your graphics and causes your frame rates to take a hit in turn. While modern graphics cards are incredibly powerful and very impressive, they're able to get these shaders ready in a brief amount of time. But that brief amount of time is just enough to ruin the experience. And that's where my problem lies with this. A core tenet of what this game was meant to be is lost. It was meant to be an immersive horror game that just draws you in with no interference. I'm sure most players would happily wait that small amount of time loading in instead of getting the jarring, shaken experience that we're getting instead. These are all issues that can be fixed on the back end and through patching, however it's not so easily done. The game is currently receiving a huge amount of backlash over this issue, with systems of all type from low-end PCs to high-end gaming rigs. They're all struggling to have a positive experience running Callisto Protocol. I have no doubt in my mind there's currently a lot of work still going on at Striking Distance Studios to get this fixed, and they're probably going to try and get that done before irreparable damage is done to this game's reputation. For those interested, there are a few things you can do to improve the issues slightly. However, even on a high-end system like mine, I'll still get these occasional frame drops from as high as 140 down to 20. You can turn DX12 down to 11 in the settings, which helps alleviate some of the stress from the shader processing, and others have said that capping their FPS at 60 is very beneficial. Obviously reducing general graphics quality is helpful, but in regards to upscaling technology, I've not really found any settings, be it on or off, have made much of a difference to me. I was really hoping to be releasing my review of the game right now, based on actual gameplay and story, but instead here we are. I've seen that many on Steam are issuing refunds for the game, as is their right, and if that's something you've done or are considering, I'd love to hear about what issues you've faced and what you're doing about it in the comments. Likewise, if you're going to just wait out and see if they patch it, or even braver, just push through regardless, let me know in the comments. Fortunately for myself, Dark Tide released just a few days ago, so I have that to enjoy as I prepare my next video for you all. Thank you for sticking around and supporting my content. If you'd like to leave a comment, like, or even subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you all next time. Peace.
Warning. Venting atmosphere.
Jacob, get up here! Hurry!
Warning. Inertial dampeners online.
Ship's caught in the moon's gravity! We're being pulled in! my station! Transferring flight controls! This is bad, Jacob! Mayday, mayday, mayday! This is UJCK